So hi guys, the following video that you're about to see, okay, is just me expressing my feelings, my emotions, accepting perhaps when I made mistakes and recognizing my shortcomings. I have no problem in being honest, I have no problem in admitting things, and I have no problem in expressing my feelings and emotions in certain periods of my life. So it is not meant, this video is not meant to be treated as gospel. It's not meant to be treated like, oh, this guy has a truth, the other person involved. No, it's nothing like that. It's just me expressing my feelings and my emotions at any given point in time. That's it. Yes? You might agree with it, you might not agree with it, and it's completely fine. I believe that society should be open to discussions about these little topics, about these little things. And we as men, even though we've been categorized as we should not be expressing our emotions, I feel it's important that sometimes you express yourself so that people can perhaps understand your mindset at that time and how also to become a better person with regards to these kind of things. So I just want to make it perfectly clear, it's not meant to harm anyone, any shape, any form, in any way, all right? It's just meant for people to delve deep into the mind of a person in a particular moment in time. That's all it is. So you can like it, you cannot like it, it's completely fine, it's a free world. But a world where people don't talk about feelings and emotions is a world void of any moral clarity and a world void of any morality and any kind of empathy. So I just want to make that perfectly clear before we start. This is like a disclaimer for you guys, okay? So hope you enjoy, and yeah, it is what it is. There'll be other videos touching different topics. This is just one video, one topic that I wanted to discuss. There are other videos discussing other topics, religion, love, this, that, and the other. So just stay tuned. Hit the like button, share button, subscribe, and I hope you enjoy.
So, I just wanted to ask that why do we go quiet when something hurts? What is your point of view as a man perspective?
Okay, so from a man's perspective, maybe we go quiet when something hurts because we are trying to process what's happening. Like, it could be anything, right? It could be maybe a loss of a job or a loss of a loved one or whatever it is, maybe a relationship, it could be anything, right? But I think from a man's perspective, really, we go quiet when something hurts because we are taking our time to process the whole thing, to come up with a logical solution, to come up with okay, because men are less emotional, tend to be, okay, less emotional than women, right? So in that sense, we are a bit more cold when it comes down to the way that we do things. We think a little bit more with this than with that. So I think that's why maybe we go quiet, because we want to process the whole thing to try and find and come up with a solution. Society, I think, has placed men in such a way that we have to be the protectors, we have to be the carers, we have to be the ones caring for
the provider.
Yeah, the provider. That's the word I was looking for, the provider.
Yes.
So society has categorized us in such a way that we have to be providing, right? So the moment that we feel that there is something that we cannot provide, we stay silent because that's our way of processing it, and that's our upbringing, right? Yes. We cannot express our emotions freely as women can, for example, because our upbringing always, when you were a kid, my dad wasn't like this, but my grandfather with my dad was. When my dad maybe was crying, he would tell him, stop crying, be a man.
Yeah.
Be a man. So we instantly categorize crying as a feminine trait and not crying as being a masculine thing. We don't cry.
Yeah.
Even if you're being, stabbed to death, you still don't cry, right? That's the manly thing to do. But the reality of the issue is that that's completely wrong.
And somehow you suppress your feeling, and it's somehow not the right idea to suppress it all the time, because you're growing, your mind is growing. A child who just heard this from the parent or a grandparents that don't cry like a girl. So definitely he will think something, that no, it's wrong. I should not do it. And when they start thinking like that, it's wrong, and what they do, feeling the same. And what you said, that men are less emotional, women are more emotional. I think from my perspective that 95% nature, the mother nature, made us equal, right? Only the way we are neurologically different and functioning different. Reason, I am less physically active, like physically masculine, but emotionally I can be stronger. I can be, taking care of the house, the babies, the parents, the grandparents, my in-laws, my husband.
Wow.
But a man who's just a provider, and it's a cavemanship theory.
Yeah.
They just go and hunt, and women are taking care of everything, and same legacy we are still continuing, right? So that's how we grew as a human.
But hunting is not easy also.
Point. But also being a homemaker,
I know,
or being
I know.
center of the house. You are the provider of the house, but I am, being a woman, the center of the house. It's not that easy to play.
Of course.
Because first, what others are eating, or if everybody's eaten, then I can think about myself.
Yeah.
That is equally distributed, or more given to them, and whatever left I can eat. It happens, especially in the Indian household, women. Because they are more family-centric people. Most women are like that. They are dependents, and they grew up with the same mentality. Because I heard from the mothers and my grandmothers that you are a woman. You are going to be, get ready one day and get married one day.
And cleaning and
Thank God, I am not coming from that background, because my parents, I'm the single child, and my parents never told me. I got a very progressive parenting, but everybody in India or in the world, because I have seen the world around, is not as lucky as I got the
As you were.
parenting. Yes,
Yeah.
being a woman, right?
Right.
So, and it's a challenge between the men and women. You have your certain challenges being a man. I have certain challenges being a woman. You have to work.
Of
You
course.
have to get up and work.
Of course.
I can choose.
Of course. Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah, of
I
course,
can
of
choose.
course.
Still, I can
Of
choose,
course.
and I can ask if I need a help. I can get 10 helps on the road. If there's any road accident happens, 10 guys or girls or people will come to help me. But if guy,
It's different.
It's different.
But why also do you think that women in certain situations stay silent also?
dependency.
Dependency.
Yeah, hoping love that it will come back, because right now my man, the provider, may be going through with the situation, outside of pressures, job issues, business issues, and one day things will work out, because how he
So
loved
it's the hope, right?
It's a hope. How
It's
he
the
loved
hope.
me, how he proposed me, how we planned our marriages, kids, and a woman, they are nurturer by birth, right? This year, baby girl is a mother. She has that caring attitude, she has that nurturing attitude than the man, than the boy.
Right.
Right? So we first think about our children. That is our weakened points.
Right.
Being
A mom.
mom,
Yeah.
right? It is same time very stronger. You know, it's a plethora of opportunities. Being a mom, you can do wonders, because it gives you push. Go ahead. You know, you're a mom. You can't eat, but you have to provide the eating to your child or children. So I'm saying out of my personal experiences, because something happened in past, and I got the force from my son only, and I left.
Of course, because you live with that person,
Yes,
right?
yes. And you see, it's not his or her problem. It's not his or her fault, because
course not.
he is completely dependent on you.
Of course.
Right? Your parents can do wonder without you. Your friends can do anything. Your partner can do anything. But what about the child?
Child, it depends entirely
It
on you.
completely depends on you.
Yeah.
So then it's a hope that, okay, this is our love live in front of us, growing. Let's do it. Another chance. Let's give it us another chance. One day things will better. But from the same time, if there's a man is narcissist or manipulator, what he will do, they know that why she's getting, this dimming light. She was not like that, but she's acting, and she's little bit dimming her light, all because of the family, all because of the mom situation. And then they start using you. I would say using you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess so. I mean, there are all kinds of people, right? There are all kinds of people, but that's actually a very interesting question. Seriously, very good way to start the whole thing.
Yeah. So, my another questions to you: that do men stay silent to protect others or to protect themselves? What is your quote on that?
Okay, so again, sometimes this is actually sometimes it's a bit of both, right?
Yeah.
And let me give you some examples. For example, if I have a partner and I'm with my partner, right? And this person gets angry, this person is mad for something that I've done, or for something that maybe has happened at work, or whatever it is, right? Then in that situation, perhaps, in order to just calm the whole situation down, to bring the tension down, to bring the atmosphere down to ground level, right? So I would stay quiet. I won't be replying back, I won't be answering back, I won't be trying to have a heated conversation with the person, because
Go ahead.
because I don't want to add fuel to the fire, right? I don't want to be the kind of person that adds fuel to the fire and then the whole thing just bursts into flames and then it's a big mess. I don't want that. I'm the kind of person that I believe in conversation, but it has to be a mutual thing. It cannot be just one-sided conversation. Yes.
I respect your saying, and of course you handle it in a way in your life. But I also realized it, as per my personal experience and surrounding, that sometimes men running away.
Why do you point at me? Why do you point at me?
Running away from the situations, to the viewers, running away from the situations, and that's why they chose to be silent. And
but those are weak men. Those are not real men. Those are boys. Those are not men. Let's be honest here, okay? A real man will actually talk and stay and converse. He won't even shout. He won't lay a hand on you. He'll just talk to you and try to calm you down. If he really, really values you, if he appreciates you, if he loves you, he will talk to you. He will try and calm the fire down, because that is his job also at the end of the day. Yes, we discussed in the first question, in the prior question, that men are more cold, they think more with the brain, and women are more all heart, right? Yes. So, because of that's how God made us. Yes. We can't do anything else, right? So, if a man is a real man, when he gets that burst of fire, and he says, don't worry, calm down, I'm here with you. Yes.
And there's nothing we can't deal with it.
Or even if it's the guy's mistake, even if the guy makes a boo-boo, like I like to say, even if he makes a mess up, right? I don't want to swear in front of camera, okay? Even if he makes a mistake, still, a real man will acknowledge that mistake, will accept his errors, and will be humble enough to ask his partner for help.
And adding to that, what I realized with my other female friends, or me as in, we are not looking for any solution. If I'm into something, or I'm upset of something,
you're just looking for someone to hear you.
Yes, that's it. And just that yes, I'm here. And the moment we release our emotion, I also get calm. You also get calm, and then we can think about the solution-seeking process rather than just yelling up on each other.
But it's always seeking the solution-seeking process together, because it's a team effort, right?
It's a 50-50.
It's not all just me. It's all not just you. It's all not just It's a team effort. It has to be coming from both.
Yes.
That's why when it's a reciprocal thing, when it's a mutual thing, then it works.
And it should touch to your heart that my partner is thinking right for me.
Of course.
Yeah, he's understanding me.
Exactly. So in that sense, we as men have to understand that women are completely different. There's this saying that says women are from Venus, men are from Mars, right? So we are completely different. I think it was Jules Verne that said that. Maybe I'm mistaken. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, okay?
Don't worry.
But still, we are completely different humans. Yes. We are from the same species, but we're different.
Different,
right?
Yeah.
So we think different, and we as men have to try to understand as best as we possibly can. It's not easy to try to understand women. It's not easy. I'm not saying I do, but you try as much as you possibly can to put yourself in their shoes, to put yourself in that situation. Have some empathy, right? And that works both ways.
Sure.
It can't be just the man doing it. It has to be the woman also doing it, right?
Yes.
So,
and sometimes even more.
Yeah.
Because she's potential even more, but the men should realize it, acknowledge it, and appreciate it. Then she will just go very easily in the pavement. Yeah.
I mean, I understood that what you said before about maybe the woman doesn't want any solution. She just wants to be heard. But the problem is with that, a lot of men, including myself in the past, we did not understand that cheat code. That's a cheat code, okay? For us, if you're offering us a problem, we want to help you. If we love you, we want to help you, right? So our first instinct as a man is, okay, how can I help my wife? How can I help my woman? How can I help my girlfriend? I want to help her as much as I possibly can. So I will be offering solutions. You don't want to hear solutions.
I don't want a solution.
Exactly.
Yes.
You just want someone to listen to you. But the problem is that we're not your girlfriends.
Yes.
We're not your girlies. Oh, hi, oh, this or that. We're not that. You know, when you're in pain, we're in pain. It's like that,
True.
right?
True.
So we want to help. And our way of helping is by being practical, by being logical, by offering a solution to the problem. But then that's where the miscommunication happens.
Yes.
If a woman wants...
That's why we are different.
If a woman wants only to be heard,
Yes.
then the man has to take a step back and say, okay, she wants to be heard only. I'm just going to play it cool. I'm going to play it calm. And I'm just going to be there for her. That's it.
Yeah, and also adding to that, what is your point of view on that? What is your solution on that, lady? And then, being a man, I can support you on that, right? That
exactly.
can be also the...
But it's all about support, right?
Yes.
A relationship, when it comes down to both, it could be friendship, it could be a relationship between husband and wife, girlfriend and boyfriend.
Yeah.
There are pillars, right?
Yes.
And if those pillars are not there, then that doesn't work.
Yes.
And one of them is respect, understanding, trust, loyalty, all these things, right?
Yes.
I mean, these are pillars to a house.
Yeah.
If those pillars are not there, nothing works.
Yeah.
So, again, it's a very interesting question also, because there's a lot that we can discuss about things like this,
Exactly.
right? It's
If I can tell you in terms of the business, because I'm a business run person, so if I talk about how much you put efforts to your company, your employees, your balance sheets, this is profit and loss. If you're calculating all, this is how you get result and this is how you get profit. And you can go to the venture next level. Same with relationship. It's an investment, and it's a resilience. Yeah.
I use that word a lot. It's an investment into the future, because that's what it is.
Exactly.
You're banking, literally banking all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
That's what
with
it
your
is.
children, why not? It's an investment. If you don't understand them, give them 10 things. They won't recognize.
You see, I'm the kind of person that it's either all in or all out.
Yeah.
It's not. It can't be half cooked anything.
Same here.
It can't be like, because if I've been in a situation before where it's been half cooked, and I don't appreciate
And
that.
you want it well done.
Exactly. I want my eggs well done. I don't want them half cooked, man. All right. I want my scrambled eggs done properly.
Yes.
But still, it's a very interesting subject that we're touching right now.
Yeah. So my next question to you is, what's something you never said at the right time or still think about to you?
All right. So that's. I mean, there are a lot of moments that I said something that I shouldn't have said, for example. But there are also one moment sticks in my head, which is poignant for me, which was when my grandmother passed away. And I got a call from my dad at the time. I was 18, I think 18, and I got a call from my dad, and he told me, Joel, you know, she's going. Make sure you're here fast, because she might not make it. You know what I mean? So I literally just got dressed, put my shorts on,
Right.
and I just literally sprinted from my house to the hospital. It's like a half an hour walk. I got there in 15 minutes. I ran. I just ran for like maybe 3.5 kilometers. Like literally sprinting. I was 18 at the time, so I was relatively fit, right? Fitter than I am now, okay. But still, and I got there and I didn't get in time. She in those 15 minutes she just let go, right?
And she was looking forward to meeting
Yeah. She was. She actually asked me. She asked me. I was, and I hope my cousins, if they see this, they don't mind this, but you know, it was common knowledge that I was her favorite grandson.
Grandson.
So that's common knowledge. Everyone kind of knew that. Whenever I used to go to the house and I used to be in control of the TV. I used to do this. I used to do that. She's like, okay, do whatever you want, no problem. And it was a very different relationship with her, right? She was like my mom.
Wow.
In many senses. She was like my mom.
Given you values and all.
I never had a really good relationship with my mom. It was a very strained relationship. I realize now why when I'm older, because we have similar characters. Okay, so when you're young and your character is very similar to one of your parents, you will clash.
Yes.
There will be clashes because you are the same as that person. You don't want someone, your blood boils, right? So I now when I'm 35, I understand why I had a strained relationship with my mom. Because we're very similar in a lot of aspects.
Right.
Not physically I'm like my dad, but my mom, character-wise, it's very similar. So I always used to look at my grandmother for guidance, for advice, for anything, whether it was for school.
She was your soft corner.
She was my rock, right? Wow. So for whether it was for school, whether it was for any advice for as a teenager for the girls, Mama, tell me this, tell me that. We used to stay up at night to watch Spanish songs because obviously she was Spanish, right? So there's something in Spain called La Copla, which is like flamenco music and all that. So we used to stay up all night watching that.
Wow.
Every single weekend I used to stay there from Friday to Sunday at the house, just watching her cook or helping her do this. And it was just like a really good relationship,
wow.
right? So when my dad called me at that time, my grandmother was having cystic fibrosis, so she was already going, right? We all knew that. It was just a matter of when. But I was hoping that I'll get there on time. And she was asking for me, and I wasn't there. So for me, that was like, one of those moments that you don't want to miss,
Yeah.
So there were a lot of things that I didn't say, which I would have liked to say. Happens so. That's life, right?
Yeah. And
what about you? Has there been anything that you wanted to say that you?
Yes, I was so carried away with your story. So yeah, about my childhood time. So I was also I'm the only child of my parents, and my parents were younger in the family. They have siblings, but they are younger, so they got married first. So I born with a lot of love, and from maternal side, father side, every side of my aunts and cousins, I'm the boss, like that. And that time in India, there was no such multiple channels. It's only one channel, our Doordarshan.
It wasn't Ardhap Goswami, right? The channel, that guy.
India wants to know. Yes, it's not like that. So,
YouTube wants to know.
So TV had a limited hours to watching some characters, and then we all gone to sleep. And my grandmother, she had a 4-hour long stories, and we woke up like you said, we up like half of the midnight, and our parents came and said, you still didn't sleep? And she protected me. No, she's sleeping. And but we used to under the blanket. Yes.
Yeah.
What is next, grandma? What is next? So then see this, and she had a 4-hour plus longer stories, and it's so dramatic. It's like web series that time for me, and it's so dramatic. This happened, that happened, and jungle came, and the way she portrayed and recited, wow! And I was like just flowing away with her in that dreams and situation, and in that actually stories. I'm living it like that. And whole day, next day, I discussed with my friends. I got a new story. This happened, that happened. So it was very mesmerizing. Very simple childhood, but very loving and very peaceful childhood. I wish I can also deliver to my legacy to my next generation. But the situation right now, as we all know, is changed. We are all very ultra modern societal people, and
we like to think we are. But we're not.
We are not.
At the end of the day, we're all
sinking.
But that's a subject for another topic that we can discuss: society and culture and all that kind of shit.
Hey, so the next question I would like to ask: that have you ever realized you're already disconnected emotionally, or before you admit to yourself how it was in your situation?
So yeah, I have realized, I did emotionally disconnect. I can give you a very, very recent example, okay, with my ex-partner. A lot of you guys know, all right, YouTube viewers, my ex-partner. There was a situation, I was with this person for 3.5 years. There was a situation, we lived together, everything was done together, right? So there was a situation, there was a moment, and that stuck with me, and completely just changed my whole perspective of everything. We were at home, and we were just having a conversation about marriage, as you do, right?
Yeah.
Three years in a
It's a long
relationship.
time, yeah.
3 years in a relationship, you start thinking, okay, we need
Let's
to have a
settle,
serious
yeah.
conversation about this, right?
Yes.
Because it's how it is. And I asked her, and when she replied back to me, all right, and she said, because I asked her, look, what's going to happen with this? Are we going to, one day, like, do you want this? Are we going to do this?
So you initiated first time?
Yeah, of course,
in 3 years?
of course.
She never asked?
No. We had conversations before about that, right? But it wasn't like serious.
Okay.
But this time I was like,
Let's
hey,
do it, yeah.
hey, are we gonna do something like this or not? Like, I want, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So when she replied back and she said, I'm gonna be with someone, I'm gonna marry someone from my tribe. And it was that moment when you ask someone, right? When you ask someone to marry you, or hey, let's talk about marriage, let's plan marriage, because you're serious with that person, right? It's been 3 years. Obviously, it's something serious, right? So when that person replies back like that, instantly, your whole mental thing just goes to the shits. It's like, and I just looked at her like that, and she was serious. I just looked at her like that, and I'm like, okay. What do you want to have for dinner? And I changed conversation because I didn't want to believe that was her answer. You know what I mean? I didn't want to have an argument there and then. I didn't want to why are you
Still
saying
had that
this?
hope.
Why are you
Yeah.
saying this?
Yeah.
Why? I didn't want that. I wanted it to be like, okay, just
Maybe she's in a bad mood.
ignore it,
Yeah.
Joel, ignore it.
Yeah.
Just fuck it, ignore it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I thought to myself. But then, as the days and weeks grew on, it just became like I couldn't take that out of my head.
Yes.
Like, this person that is supposed to be with me, is supposed to love me, is replying back like that. Like when I ask her a serious question. Imagine, how would you reply? How would you react if your partner for 3 years says something like that? It's like a dream. It wasn't like what is this? You know what I mean?
Right.
So when that happened, it took me a couple of weeks. But then that emotional, what was it? The question number 4? That emotional
disconnect.
disconnection.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the word. Detachment, disconnection. Then that emotional disconnection and detachment started happening, in the sense that I didn't want to initiate anything with her.
But did she ever give you the sign
About what?
that no, I'm just here for casual or not looking for marriage?
No. So that was shock, right?
Yeah.
For me, that was a shock. Like,
First time you realized it in your relationship that this is not.
yeah, and I understood that, coming from a place like Nagaland, for example, the culture is different.
Yes.
The not the beliefs, because we're both Christian. I'm a Christian. She is a Christian wherever she is now. So all these things, it's very similar, the beliefs and all that. But the culture, right? But I was hoping that maybe there would be some sort of to and fro between both people, right? Like, don't expect me to pay a dowry. I'm completely against that. I'm completely against that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy a woman. I'm sorry. If I want to buy a woman, I go to Bangkok. All right. I'm not going to buy a woman. All right.
Right.
That's not how it works.
You're looking life.
That's not how it works in my brain. I cannot do that ever in my life. I cannot do that. Right. That for me is wrong.
Right.
All right. I don't have to offer anything to the family, or I'm going to offer you 10 lakh, 20 lakh, let me buy your girl. you know, your daughter. That's sick. For me, that's sick.
Same here.
Okay?
Yeah.
That is a society that's sick. I'm sorry. That's my belief, okay?
True.
It can hurt people, it cannot, but that's what I believe,
Yeah,
okay?
but this is how it is. It should be like that. If somebody's listening and thinking this mentality, it's not progressive at all.
At all. It's stuck in the Middle Ages, okay? But going back to that question about you know, emotional dissonance and distance in that sense, we had discussions in the past about marriage, but it wasn't like, you know, like a big discussion, right? But when I wanted to approach her in this case and tell her, look, what are we going to do? Are we going to get married? This, that, and the other. I was excited. I was happy about it. And then when she shot me down like that, it was like the worst feeling in the world at that moment. And then, like I said, it took me a couple of weeks to actually.
The awesome become awful.
Yeah. And then it was like I didn't want to do any videos with her. There was a big pause in the YouTube channel that she has. I didn't want to do any videos. There was like there was no vibe. There was nothing, right? The conversations became monotonous. The vibe became cold. Like
short messages.
Yeah. Just messages like, "Oh, get me this from the hypermarket." That's it. It was not like it was there was no love anymore in that sense. You know, even and this might shock people, but you know, I refused sex so many times because I didn't feel comfortable with it.
Right.
I didn't feel comfortable with it, and that person cannot deny that because it's a fact. I refused it so many times because I did not feel comfortable with it any longer. I need to feel comfortable with the
because
person.
Because it's a mental.
It was a mental thing.
Yeah, people think it's a physical exercise
it's
or
not,
an
it's
activity.
Not.
It's mental, and until you won't connect the emotionally, you will not comfortable.
It's a mental thing. It's a mental thing. For me, at least, I like to believe that that I'm a sapiosexual, whatever you want to call that. I fall in love with the mind first, and then after that, it's everything else is good with me.
Yes.
But first, it has to be a connection in the vibe, in the mind, in everything. And when that connection was lost, I lost all interest in that person. Literally, all interest. It was like, okay, you're here, but like,
I don't know you.
I just want you to find an excuse to get angry with me and just piss off. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to do it, but just find an excuse to do it. You know what I mean?
So you already left.
I left.
Yeah.
My mind had already left that relationship.
Yes.
Like in that day, in January.
Yes.
My mind had gone already.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want this.
But still you carry.
But still, I carried on because, again, the conflicting nature of my mind at the time. I had gone, but I wanted to believe that I was still there. I wanted to like, okay, maybe I am not gone. Maybe it's just me thinking negatively. I'm a very positive person. Maybe it's just me thinking negative stuff. I'm gonna try and take those things out of my head. But I couldn't.
Did she put any efforts to remove those memories from you? No?
If she did, I don't recall. Honestly, I was so engrossed in the whole situation at that time that, you know, it was like, it's done. I'm gone. I'm not here any longer. I'm here physically, but I'm not here mentally, emotionally. It's just done. You know, it's not easy when you actually love someone in that time.
You
right?
broke into pieces, and then you have to collect your own pieces and make yourself back.
And then we go back to question number one. I'm a man. I cannot cry. I cannot say anything. I cannot open up.
You can't ask for the help.
I have to keep quiet.
Yes.
Because still, I have to provide help for that person. I have to be strong enough that I cannot do anything. I cannot work on myself because I have to still take care of that person.
Yeah. And if you shout loud, then it can, go to negative towards you because you're a man.
Yeah. So
that he's shouting.
So I mean, you know what I mean, right? It's like you cannot do anything. You're caught in a situation where you want to end something, but you can't because if you do, you're the bad person. Or if you want to actually talk about it, you can't because the other person doesn't have the same. It's not the same, level of maturity, level of intelligence. You can't discuss it.
Yes.
So it was like I was caught in limbo, and I didn't know how to do things.
And you had enough experience that even if it is an urge to talk, your mind says no, it's not going to work.
trust me, I talk a lot.
Yeah.
I love talking. It's my
Yes.
job. I'm a commentator. You guys know this wherever you
Yeah.
are, you know.
Yeah.
I'm a commentator, I'm a coach. My job is talking, literally talking.
Yeah.
So for me, talking is never a problem.
Yeah.
But it has to be a mutual.
Yes.
It has to be reciprocated.
Yes.
And if the other person doesn't want to talk, the other person is on the phone, the other person just doesn't want to talk.
Avoiding.
Then, avoiding.
Yeah.
Then what am I, how am I going to initiate that, right?
These kind of a people make you, feel you're worthless and trying to dim your light.
The amount of time,
Yeah.
I'm going to be very honest again here, and I don't care whatever people think about me, but the amount of time that I told this person, I don't feel appreciated. I don't feel appreciated for everything I've done, for everything I've given, for everything I've provided, for everything I'm doing. I don't feel appreciated, or I don't feel respected. I didn't feel like that. I didn't feel appreciated.
You know why? Because you should not get motivated and circle around it. That's the plan.
But in that, you see, at the very beginning, everything was nice and rosy, right? Everything is beautiful, everything is great, everything is fantastic. But then you start feeling underappreciated, you start feeling everything like that, and then when that happens in January, then you start like thinking like, what the hell am I doing here, right? Why am I still here?
I understand.
Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a moment where that was one key moment that I felt that emotional distance and emotional dissonance happening there and then. And that's why when eventually it did happen, that breakup eventually did happen, it was like a weight off my shoulders. It was like, I can breathe. I can
Wow.
breathe. I can breathe. I can be myself again. I can breathe. I don't have to walk on eggshells. I can breathe. I can just relax. I can be myself again. And it was like, I'm not gonna lie, I did cry.
You should.
Not because
We are human.
not because I love that person, but because perhaps for the first few days you miss the presence of that person. It's not love.
Become your habit.
It's
right?
not love.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a habit, right?
Yeah.
So when that happens and that person shifts out of your apartment and everything else, then
Start from the scratch.
it's starting from scratch. And it was more crying because I was afraid of starting again from scratch.
You don't like to see sun, basically. You don't want to see people. You just wanted to just be in your shell.
So it was more of a crying of afraid of starting again. Like, okay, I thought I had everything settled down. I don't, obviously. Shit. Now I'm gonna start all over again.
But hey, here you are.
Here I am.
Yes.
But at that moment, for those 2 or 3 days after
Of course.
she leaves or after she left, it was like, okay, I have to get my act together because it's me, myself, and I. Yeah, me, myself, and I. That's it, no one else. So I have to get my shit together. If I don't get my shit together, no one's gonna get my shit together for me.
For sure.
So I have to do what I have to do. So I gave myself maybe 1 or 2 days where I, not grieving, but because no one died. Love died that day in that relationship. It was not grieving, but it was more like I have to give myself a day or two just to de-stress, just to relax, just to clear my thoughts, and then move forward. That's it.
And have a self-love.
Have self-love, always. That's the most important thing, right? But like I said, it was not easy at the beginning for those 2 or 3 days because you are used to seeing that person there.
True.
It's like a habit.
Yeah. Calling, messaging.
So
you miss that.
when that was not there, it was like, shit, okay. But that's not missing her because I loved her. It was
Those moments.
missing her because of
Those moments we lived.
Yeah, but those moments, right?
And one thing I would like to add up here, that people are so much saying about the therapy, that you should go for the therapy and you should talk about it, and first you should talk to yourself, cry out loud, and scream all out that yeah, this is it, this is what I'm feeling in. Talk more, again and again to everybody, that this is what I'm going through it, guys, and one day you will feel relaxed. This is my therapy.
Of course.
Yeah, don't just put things inside, not gonna help. Maybe in front of the God, in front of under the sky. Talk talk, feel the emotion, feel it to the top, to the deepest. And when you come up next, you will feel better, you will feel stronger, and because life has to go on, the show must go on, guys. Yes.
I going back to what you just mentioned about God, we'll touch about God in another podcast that we do, right? But for me as a Christian, I mean, the power of prayer is very real for me.
Yeah.
It's very strong for me. I pray every morning when I wake up. I pray every day, 2-3 times a day, and it just gives you that calmness.
Wow.
It gives you that stillness that no matter what happens, there is someone there with you who's looking after you and caring for you, right? So that got me, like I said, 2-3 days. I was completely normal after 2-3 days. I didn't want to, it was completely normal after that. No more crying, no more missing the person, missing anything. It was just that moment that you think, okay, I've lost this.
And same time, you're feeling also that you are you.
That's the most important
You released
thing. That's the most
the
important
pain.
thing.
Yeah.
That's the most important
Yeah.
thing. And when we talk about religion, you'll understand that I am me. I have very forthright views of a lot of things. So
I'll also contribute into that.
we will discuss that in another.
Yeah. So I was asking you, why do people stay when their heart has already left in the situation or in the relationship?
Okay, so I can talk from my point of view. Like, why do you stay?
Sure.
Maybe force of habit. You don't want to lose that habit because you're already used to it. So it's like better the devil that I know than something new. You know what I mean? Better the devil I know than something new. Something new is scary. Scary. Okay, it is scary.
And again, putting efforts and time. It's matter of
it's scary. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't mind doing that for the right person. But it can be scary, right? Putting everything, starting afresh can be scary. But why do people stay when the heart has gone? Because the brain is still there. The heart, the Bible says the heart is the most treacherous human organ in the world, in your body. That's what the Bible says. It's the most treacherous part of your body is the heart.
Got it.
Why? Because the heart makes you do things that you don't really have to do. The brain is still there. So the brain is still thinking, trying to think logically. At least I'm talking from my point of view, right? The heart might have left, but the brain is there thinking, okay.
With the memories.
The memories, and also, well, she's not that bad. Maybe she said it out of this, and it's not that you're trying to convince yourself this fantasy la la land, right? That you want this to work because. Yeah, why? Maybe she was having a bad day, but it's not that.
Yeah.
The reality is not that.
I also did that to her,
So the reality, but the reality is not that. The reality is what it is, right? She said to you, I'm not gonna marry you, I'm gonna marry some random other guy. And you're thinking, okay, that's the reality. But then you try to camouflage everything in your brain, right? So that's why people stay. In my thing, it was because it was like a force of habit. Like, she was there, so she was like, part of the furniture, I guess. I don't want it to sound bad, but like, she was there, so fine. So what? Yeah. Maybe one day she will, come to her senses and realize that I'm a good guy, and that I'm doing this for her, I'm doing that. Maybe one day she'll come to realize that. But again, going back to the previous questions, about emotional dissonance and mental dissonance. In that time when you want to give your head hope that it's going maybe to work, at the same time that emotional and mental dissonance is occurring and you're just separating yourself from that person. So it was like two opposites, right? Pulling like two ropes. And the one that pulls the hardest is the one that wins. Yeah, you either stay or you don't stay. I didn't stay at the end, right?
Yeah.
So
because you were already a lot of in pain.
Yeah. So in that sense, it's like that. That's why people maybe stay. In your case as a woman, and I want you to be very honest here, okay? Like, I know situations where women have been mistreated by men.
Yeah.
They get beat up, they get abused, not just physically or sexually, but also mentally, emotionally. So that happens.
Yeah.
More than we like to talk about.
Yeah.
That is something that we can discuss here now also. Why why do women stay when the other person next to them is a monster in that sense? Why? I've never understood that. And now I'm getting a chance to actually ask you something like this.
Thank you for asking. Nobody asked me so far. So, beautiful hope.
It's hope.
Yeah, it's hope that we started good and hopefully things will get better. And second scenario, that I have nowhere to go. Third scenario, I am so dependent, and what my family, put me in the pressure, or will I be just again baggages on my family? There are certain things with the women. My financial securities, if I'm very low, then I cannot take that courage to tell in front of you that.
So you just take it.
Sometimes it happens. 80% it happens in the world. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
That you see, because.
And those who didn't take it, then they live alone their life. They take their babies and say bye bye.
But isn't it better to live alone than to live in a situation?
Again, the
like
courage.
So you need courage, right?
Courage.
So where does that courage come from?
You have from education. If you're educated, you can take the chance. Right?
Why do men behave like that sometimes? I don't get it.
Authority. I get that. And you told now that it's 50-50. Sometimes in the relationship, it's not 50-50. It's 90 or 10, 80 or 20. Or like 100% is the man owning, or a dominating woman owning. Then what the other party will do? They will just roam around with you. Whatever you say, right or wrong.
Submissive.
Yes. Whatever you say, your conscience knows it's wrong. Your man is wrong. But you have to say, okay. Because if you don't, anyways he will do it. With you, without you, with your consent, not consent, but it will come on you if you say no, for sure. In physical abuse, mental abuse, sexual abuse, and giving silent treatment that you're nobody, you're worthless. Yeah, you want food, you want clothes, you want jewelry, get it, go away.
Shit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to understand that, because for me, my upbringing, I've only seen my dad, right? And the way that he treated my mom, that was like a queen. So my dad treated my mom still treats my mom like a queen.
So your dad must have been raised in the queen's lap. So
My
he
grandma-
can treat,
my grandma
yes, so he can
passed
treat
away.
the lady queen.
Huh.
You get it?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
So I'm lucky and I'm blessed that I saw my dad's example only.
Yes.
I didn't see my uncle's example or whatever. I saw my dad's example only, and that really just
Because he has been raised
like
on
that,
the queen lap.
like that.
Yeah.
So it's just for me as a man, I just don't understand how a man can treat a woman in that sense, right?
Yeah.
Badly. I just don't get
because
it.
if you saw as a child the same treatment in your home, then when you get authoritative, you will also replicate
Do
the
the same thing, yeah.
Because being a child, you're just grasping it,
Right.
replicating it. And you're not doing it by purpose, but it automatically happens because in your subconscious mind, it fits that this is right and I can do it.
Oh, that sucks.
If you go to the beach, right, everybody knows that no littering, right?
But
No
they
plastic.
They still do it.
But still doing it. Why? Because I can do it. So if I can do it, I can do.
Wow. My God.
Yeah. Until unless there's a fine, heavy penalties, then people will say, if you go Gulf, if you go Dubai, nobody can do it. Nobody can do it, man. But in India or other places in Europe, it's littering, right? I saw people, we thought, guys, that only it happens in India.
No.
It's
everywhere,
not.
everywhere.
The crazy people follows you all around the world.
Yeah.
The ratio can be lesser because their population is lesser than us, but
But it's
reality
the same,
is
yeah, it's the
that
same.
stupid people are all around the world
Everywhere.
existing and doing stuff.
Let's carry on to the next one.
Yeah. So my next question to you, when two people start drifting, who notices first? The one who pulls away or the one who gets left behind? What is your thought on it?
The one that pulls away, the one that gets left behind. Who notices first, right? Again, it can be from a different perspective, because I noticed when I pulled away. I noticed.
Yes.
I was the one that pulled away, right? But I noticed it because I was doing it. Because it's what was happening naturally in that relationship.
Yeah.
I was pulling away and I was noticing it. I don't think she knew it. I don't think she noticed it. Because even if I was pulling away, I would still care for that person. I would still treat her with respect and with love and with everything. But deep down, I was pulling away.
But after that, you never had a talk? Like, let's have a sit and discuss on that. I'm feeling this. And you're my pink partner. What is your, suggestion and care for me to run this beautiful relationship as we are maintaining for 3+ years?
When the other person doesn't have the emotional maturity that you do, it's very difficult to have a conversation of that stature without the person not understanding what's happening, or for the person to understand what's happening. When the level of maturity is not there, it's not compatible. The level of maturity since beginning is not compatible. But it was manageable. It was okay. It was fine. It was fine. No issue. But when it gets to a critical stage, you need to have that same level of maturity that you can discuss. That you can discuss,
Yes.
right? So that you can continue. You can evolve as a couple.
Yeah.
You can evolve as a partnership, right?
Yeah. That's the time demand.
When that level of emotional maturity is not there, then no matter what you do,
Waste of
you think,
efforts.
what's the point? Because if I say one thing, she's gonna misunderstand it, she's not gonna listen to it, she's gonna be like, and it's like, what's the point of having a conversation with this person?
Yeah.
When no matter how many times you say it,
You're right.
it still doesn't get through.
Yeah.
No matter how many ways you try to say it, in Chinese, in Arabic, in Mandarin, in Nagamese, in this, doesn't understand it. So then, how am I going to explain to you what this is supposed to be like, what I'm feeling? Imagine.
Your lights get dimmer.
What I'm feeling. And I can be I'm a deep person. I don't mind sharing my emotions, my ups and downs. I don't mind crying.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
But again, when that level of maturity, emotional maturity is not compatible, it's fine when everything is hunky-dory, because there's no need to be emotionally compatible in maturity. It doesn't matter, because there's no need for that.
Life is not hunky-dory.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
So when things get tough, that's when you need that maturity, compatibility together.
Requires.
And that was lacking.
Yeah.
So
And also one thing I noticed with the people, men and women both, like in a relationship, if I sleep, you can wake me up. But if I pretend to be sleeping, right, then you can't wake me up.
why?
Because I don't want to wake up.
Exactly.
I'm pretending.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And as much as you
you bang,
gongs,
it's not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen.
So that is what I feel.
Yes.
It was like that.
Yeah.
Like it was not.
Take your time.
It was real. Don't get me wrong. It was real, 100% real. It happened. But at the end, I pulled away that emotional dissonance that we discussed before, right? And I noticed myself pulling away. But at the same time, I don't know if this makes sense or not to people watching and to you, but at the same time that you're pulling away, there's still a part of you that is still trying to nurture that relationship. Still trying to like, fine.
Human connect.
Let's try to see if there's a solution to this, right? I am pulling away. It's clear from my side, the text, the conversations, but still you harbor that hope in your head that maybe it can still function. But at the end of the day,
or my partner can change.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, the pulling away won, because there was no way that could be, from my point of view, it was just mentally gone already.
So
I
love
couldn't.
is not just a love, it's also how you maintain the love with the maturity and understanding.
It's like when you have a car, you have a nice
course,
car, right?
yes.
You have a Mercedes or
You need
BMW, you have to maintain the car. If you don't maintain the car, it doesn't matter if it says Mercedes or BMW or Lamborghini or Ferrari, it will look like shit. So you have to maintain that relationship, right? You have to maintain the car so it still looks nice. So this is the same thing. You have to maintain a relationship.
And it looks like that this belongs to you, but in that case, the situation, how you gone through it, the person doesn't look like that it belongs to you. Does it make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. It does. Also, I just want to say one thing. In all honesty, now that we're going to be completely honest here and everything, when that emotional dissonance appears or happens, you start looking for what you need in other people. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
When you don't get what you need or want at home, and I'm not talking about sexual intercourse, nothing like that. Okay, that is out of the picture. Emotionally.
Yeah.
When you don't get what you require from that person, and this happened to me. I'm going to be very honest. I don't care. This happened to me. When you don't get emotionally that satisfaction from that person, you don't get appreciated. You don't get treated properly. You know, things are done just because they have to be done, not because they want it to be done. You know what I mean? When you don't get that level of emotional happiness, you start trying to look for that in other people. And yeah, of course, you start talking to different people, I started talking to different women, but just talking, just making a connection, mental connection.
Yeah.
Because I needed that.
But inside you're screaming that.
Inside I'm screaming, why am I doing this?
Yes.
Why am I want it from you, but you're not giving it to me. So you're pretty much pushing me to get it from some other people.
But
And
still I'm searching you with other people too.
It's never about the sex, it's never about the physical touch, it's never about that. It's always, at least for me, it was always about the emotional connection. Like, I don't want to do this, but if I don't do this, I'm going to go crazy.
True.
You understand what I'm trying to say? So, I don't want to do this because I want this to come from you, but you're not giving it to me.
And not once. It's been years.
Years.
I have not given
You're not giving it to me.
I have not given.
So I don't care about intimacy. I don't give a shit about that. I wanted that. And I told this person 1,000 times, I need this. I want this. And still nothing. Yeah. Nothing. So it gets to a point where you start disconnecting. The rope is pulling, right? It's pulling and pulling and pulling. And you feel like, that's it. It's done. I'm not going to get this from that person. Yeah. So I have to search elsewhere because I need it. It's something that I need. Yeah. Other men might need women for sex. Other men might need. I need someone.
Boys
to
are
talk
like
to.
that.
Someone
they
to
look
talk
for
to
intimacy, but the men you're talking about, as you told, that there's a difference between boys and men. So if the men you're talking about, they are not just look for the one category in the women. They are look for many things.
I look for a conversation.
Yes.
I look for that mental stimulation. I call it a mental orgasm. All right.
Great.
It's the way I call it. Seriously.
Yeah.
I need to be stimulated mentally to be able to fall in love with a person, to be able to have a conversation. A good conversation stimulates me more than any sex that lasts 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Because that's on average 15, 20 minutes, whatever it is. That's it. A good conversation lasts for hours and hours and hours. That stimulates me more, right? So
makes me charge.
So exactly, it recharges the batteries, right? So when it comes down to that, I have to say, and I admit, and I don't mind in saying it, I tried looking for something that I wasn't getting at home, and I was looking for that kind of spark, that kind of connection that would ignite my brain. Yeah, it was never about any physicality. It was never about any sex, anything like that. Never like that.
Or physical attraction.
Never like that. Because that person knows the amount of times I said no to her. So it's never about that.
Yeah.
It was about everything else that involves that, right? So yeah, I have no problem in admitting it because at the end of the day, you know, if we're going to be honest, we're going to be honest, you know.
Nothing you're doing wrong.
So when I noticed it, she didn't notice it. That's going back to your answer.
And that rashes still I can see in your heart, and
What?
while pulling.
Yeah. Because you know, it was 3 years, right, with that person,
Right.
and you wanted that to work, right? You wanted it to work, obviously. Now at this moment in time, I'm very happy. I'm very, 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 very happy with my life. Seriously, I'm very happy with
Because
my
you're
life.
courageous.
Because I did what I had to do, and that's it, right? So I am very happy with my life.
And I'm also happy that you felt the pain, being a man, you felt the pain, you've gone through that situation and process, and here today you are. I hope there were lots of sleepless nights.
There were, and restless days.
Yes,
But look, if
days.
any of this can help even one person to also have the courage to do what, you know, to do something like this, and to say no, and to, you know, and to refuse, and all these things, and to just be yourself. If this helps one person, then I'm more than happy to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
So guys, just be you.
Just be you, always, I guess.
So we are coming to the end of this podcast, and my question to you is, can distance ever rebuild itself, or once it starts, it is always a downhill?
So can distance ever rebuild itself? Once it starts, can it ever be
Downhill.
Can it be rebuilt, or is it always going downhill?
Yeah.
I actually think that, and I'm trying to think of an answer here,
Take your
because it's a
time.
very deep question, because there are different facets and aspects
And
to this, right?
subjective. Yeah.
And it's subjective to the person, to the situation, to everything, right? So, distance, can that bridge be built again, right? Between two people? Basically, that's what you're asking.
Yes.
It can. I believe it can be built again between two people, but it takes two to tango. It cannot be just one person. I always stress this. It cannot be one person willing to do all the work and the other person not putting in the work.
Standing still, yeah.
It has to be both. If you want, imagine you're building a bridge, right? You're building the bridge from here to here. Yeah? So you want to meet that person in the middle.
A line.
In the middle. It cannot be me building the whole thing and you just waiting there. Because then that will take forever, right? It cannot be like that. So it has to be both people doing the work and getting it done and building that bridge together to solve their issues out. Any relationship in the world, be it a business relationship, a friendship, a romantic relationship between girlfriend and boyfriend, husband and wife, any relationship will always have ups and downs. Every single one of them. And also they will have moments where they want to give up, moments where they just want to say, fuck it, you know, I don't want to do this. You know, there'll be moments like this. But that distance can be bridged if both people are willing to meet in the middle.
And sometimes you have to become a little stubborn to maintain your relationship, because it's not that one day effect. That today I'm doing everything and tomorrow I'm just having no idea where I am, or it's not my thing, it's not my responsibility. It is, ongoing process with the stubbornness that this is mine and I'm going to take care of it.
Of course.
And also, adding to that, there are 20 reasons to leave a person, but there's always a one reason to stay.
To stay.
Yeah.
Even though those 20 reasons can be very powerful, but there's always one reason.
reason.
But there is, and again, we are reflecting back on everything that we've discussed, right? There has to be reciprocity.
Right.
If that word exists, I hope it does. Whatever it is. Okay, I've just said
You
it
own
once.
the Oxford dictionary.
Yeah. There has to be a mutual thing.
Yeah.
It cannot be just one person rowing the boat. That person by itself will get tired.
Yes.
He or she needs help.
Yes.
Right? So if that mutual understanding is not there, then no matter how much you want to bridge the gap, it's not going to work.
True.
You understand? So then if you tie that up to all what we discussed, right? The emotional and mental dissonance and the rope pulling and all these kind of things, then it gets to a point where you're like, nah, it's better. Sometimes it's just better to just let go.
Because sometimes you working below your self dignity and self respect. You're also working to that. Because in that process, what you just said it, you realized it that I already lost my self respect and dignity so far. But still I'm continuing and wanting that person in my life and wanting this relationship to be continued. Why? Because we get so tangled or emotional connected, I would say, and the habit.
You're right. Exactly. It's a habit.
Habit.
That's the thing, right? We are humans. We are creatures of habit.
Yeah, and bad habits.
Bad habits. Bad. Good habits. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, bad habits are more powerful than the good ones.
Bad habits are more powerful than good ones. You're correct.
Yes.
The bridge can always be done, but it has to be.
And both walk
together.
towards each other.
Towards each other. It has to be done like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it cannot be done just by one person, right? True. So it can happen, but once there is that distance, it takes a lot of work to build that bridge. A lot of work. And some people are not ready for that. They're not ready to put in the work. And again, I was
not taking that seriously, or just like that. They're just trying to,
No, maybe they're not understanding the severity of the situation. Maybe they're not understanding the complexity of their words or what they said.
But similarly, they also invested their time and efforts and themselves into that situation and relationship. Still, they are not ready to put in efforts because they were also not playing. They were also the part of that relationship and all the nits and bits. So why?
That is a question that I cannot answer myself because I'm not in the other shoe. I can only imagine what.
What is your perspective on that?
I think that maybe the illusion of the perfect man came to haunt that person, in the sense that maybe she had a perception of me, and perhaps as a person you don't live up to that perception, because we're humans, we have flaws.
But delusion is not the solution.
Exactly. The illusion is not the
the
solution.
Gen Z word Dululu is not the Sululu.
The Lulu is not the Sululu, my
Yeah.
God. I'm so old right now. I swear.
So
No, but I think, I'm not talking about this case in particular, right? My case, but I think a lot of people believe that everything will be the same since it was the beginning, right? Everything will be the same. But then it takes a lot of work.
Yes.
And then once it gets to that stage of putting in the work, they don't want to put in the work. They just want to, no, I want it like always. Well, like always, it's fine. But when we need to put in the work, you also have to put in the work.
So did you ever realize it in that process that the other person is just playing games? Just
No,
for fun?
it's...
Not taking it...
I don't think it was playing games. I'm not gonna...
No, after the disconnect, still you were on, but in that process, in that second phase of the relationship where everything is, pulled away, but still you are trying and...
No, I don't think she was playing games. I just don't think she understood the severity of what she said and what it made me feel at the moment. I think she just said it like,
Without a purpose?
I think she said it, no, with a purpose, obviously. Everything people do is with a purpose. But I think she just said it in the sense of, I'm just going to let it out. I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to say it. And
so it was intentional?
Of course. Has to be. You don't say to someone that is, talking about marriage to you, I'm not going to marry you, I'm going to marry some other guy. You don't say that unless it's intentional.
Yeah.
You don't say that by accident, you know what I mean? By accident, you mess up a million other ways. But you don't say that by accident. Like, oh my God, I don't believe I said that. You don't do that. You say it because you mean it.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
not out of anger or something.
No, come on. You say it because you mean it.
Yeah. You
right?
already thought about it.
You thought about it like 1,000 times for sure.
But in that also, thinking about as a women perspective, that was she looking for more time to get married? Maybe 2 years more and then she was ready? She could have been?
She was the one that in the first year and a half, 2 years, insisting on getting married. She was the one. And then I was telling her, yes, we will, in due time. And then when I turn the tables, and I do that.
And you said it respectfully, right?
Of course.
Yeah, so there's
Of
no...
course, of course, of
Yeah.
course. Then when you turn the tables and you speak and say, look, let's go for it. Then boom, that happens. And you're thinking, oh, what have I missed? What have I missed here? Why are you saying this right now?
So it's split personality matter.
Could be another podcast. I don't know what it is. But seriously, it was very like surreal.
Confusing, yeah.
Surreal, confusing, surreal moment in that sense.
Surreal is not real.
Surreal is not real, but it was a very, very confusing
Contradicting,
matter.
yeah.
But still, look, it's fine.
I get it.
It's completely fine.
Yeah.
I'm very happy at the moment with my life, with everything that I'm doing, and with the people that I'm meeting,
Yes.
people that I'm talking to. So I'm very happy with everything.
And you can see that world is so beautiful still.
Of course it is.
Yes.
Of course it is. You know, one of the things that I never change in my mind is always be positive. No matter what happens
Yes.
in life,
Yes.
no matter what happens in life. I'm a coach. Let's not forget that. No matter what happens in life, no matter if you're losing 1-0, minute 95, you can still find a solution to draw the game and win the game.
Wow.
So I always think like that in life also. No matter how hard it can be, there's always a way.
So it's only
to
you,
win.
you and you can change the situation.
That's the way I think about it.
Wow.
Me, myself, and I. That's it. You know, and hopefully one day, then you know, with a partner or something, then it'll be completely different.
Amen.
Amen to that.
Yes.
But it's been a very interesting topic with you today. We're gonna have more discussions like
Why
this.
not?
We're definitely gonna have more discussions
Yeah.
like this on the channel, and I really appreciate you being here today and
My pleasure.
doing everything that we've done here. All right, it's been a fantastic job that we've done, and yeah. You want to say anything to the camera before we finish?
Yes, so it's very destiny, I would say, how we connected for this podcast, and we've been planning, and here we are today with a lot of fiery moments in between and the questions, and I hope that viewers and listener will connect to us, because there's no script.
There's no script.
We
nothing.
talked from our hearts, from our experience, from our perspective, what we have gone through it. And still, guys, we are dealing it, and we are fantastic. We are fine.
It's like therapy, isn't it? It's like therapy with like mutual psychologists. It's like therapy.
Wow.
Think about it.
We should, yeah.
Think about it. It's like a
Guys,
therapy
many
session.
more to come.
It's like a therapy session. So listen, folks, just like, share, subscribe. There's gonna be more content coming up similar to this. Different topics. Again, topics that a lot of people don't like to talk about because they are taboo subjects, maybe not taboo, but people need to have courage
Not
to talk
being
about.
honest.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
need to have courage to
Yeah.
talk about stuff like this, right?
Yeah.
And to assume when you make a mistake, and to accept your responsibilities, and to, be a man, not a boy.
Yes.
Yeah, be a woman, not a girl. Simple as that.
Yes.
So,
So
folks,
you decide. Yeah.
thank you so much again to you and to our fantastic crew behind the scenes also.
Yes.
So thank you for that. And we'll see you guys soon. So take care.
Bye-bye.